What's up, YouTube? You know now what my my number one favorite Kiss album ever is. Kiss solo album. I'm sorry, Kiss solo album. Gene Simmons. Here we go. Gonna catch a lot of flack for this. The remastered version right there for you. And the record, good condition, well, decent condition. You know, it's been listened to a lot. I could really use these albums newer. I'm gonna look for them online and some record stores and stuff like that nearby. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why this is my favorite. A lot of people probably want to know why I didn't pick Aces. This is my favorite. The same reason why Ace is everybody else's favorite. I'm a big fan of Ace Frehley. I love Frehley's Comet. I love all his solo work he did. Gene Simmons' solo work, minus this album, sucks. And in my opinion, some of the songs on the Kiss albums that Gene did, most of them are my least favorite songs. Gene is a very cheesy writer. He's very... I don't want to say it wrong because it kind of puts down the Beatles. He's a huge Beatles fan, and he writes very Beatlesque. And in the 70s, it wasn't okay to write like the Beatles did anymore. They were past, you know, this came out in 78, 8 years after the Beatles split up. So nobody was writing like the Beatles anymore with their, you know, cliche lyrics and stuff like that. So, but Gene always has. And he did that a lot in the Kiss albums. In his solo album, though, he took a big turn. Songs like Radioactive, the opening track, Burning Up with Fever, See You Tonight. See You Tonight is my favorite song on this album. It's a great song, great Kiss ballad. And I think they took it on tour. Tunnel of Love, great song. True Confessions, great song. Living in Sin, which is playing now, great song. Always Near You, Nowhere to Hide, great song. Man of a Thousand Faces, my second favorite song on the album. Mr. Make-Believe, my third favorite song on the album. See You in Your Dreams, great song. When You Wish Upon a Star, I can do without it. It's obviously a cover, but it's a good song. It is what it is. This album, for me, is what Ace's album was to everybody else. I wasn't a big fan of Gene Simmons. You know, I liked his makeup, I liked his stage performance and that kind of stuff, but as far as his music and what he brought to Kiss, I was never a real big fan of. And that's why when I first heard this album, I'm like, man, this album kicks ass. This album is awesome. This album is better than all of them because I wasn't expecting it to be this good. That's how, and I know that I really like this album because even, God, I heard this album first time probably when I was 7 years old. So, you know, almost 16, 17 years later, I'm still in love with this album. It is great. His singing is a lot better than people give him credit for. His bass playing is a lot better than people give him credit for. And his melodies are a lot, which I've talked about in my previous videos. His melodies are better than I think a lot of the other band members when it comes to their solo albums. It's an awesome album cover right there with the little blood drip and the makeup. He's got some cool makeup, man. He's a cool character too, Gene Simmons is, and you know, a lot of people are going to disagree with me about this, but this is my favorite, man. I'm sorry. I have to be honest in these reviews. I'm not out here doing what everybody wants me to do and what people want me to say, and I guess that's the hardest part about doing reviews sometimes. Pretty cool there. Got the Gene emblem right there in the middle, which I thought was cool. It's a good album. I know people are going to disagree with me and say it's not the best, that it's up there. Probably people's second favorite. But it's great, guys. This album, listen to it, take it for what it is, and really get into the songs. I've listened to this song hundreds of times also. Or this album hundreds of times also, excuse me. And it's good. It's a great album. My dad likes this album, obviously. You can tell by the way it was treated. But tell me what you think. Tell me your favorite. Comment on here on any of the solo album videos, and tell me what your favorite Kiss solo albums are in the order of least to favorite or favorite to least. I don't care. Just let me know, because I'd like to know people's opinions on these. This is a different time in Kiss. These solo albums were, something that really changed music for this band. It was never the same after this. It was never the same after this. There's a lot of musical turns that they did with their music after this. And these are good albums. Great. 3 of them are great. One of them, not very proud of it every time I listen to it, especially coming from Paul. So there it is. Gene Simmons is my favorite Kiss solo album. Go buy these. They don't have these at Walmart. The remasters, they don't have them. They do have them at FYE. I saw some of them. Have them at Best Buy. Have them at a lot of record stores and stuff like that. Go check them out, because things in the Kiss landscape takes a big turn from 78 on. Huge turn. Next, I don't know if I'm going to do it today, but I'm going to be doing my next album reviews, which is what I call a whole different era in Kiss. It's a new era in Kiss with, starting out. I'm not going to name the albums, obviously, if you know them, you do, but when I do my next album review, I'm going to call it a different era in Kiss, because it really was. And I'm going to give you a little hint. The next era in Kiss is my favorite era in Kiss. My favorite albums come from this coming era in Kiss. So there it is, the solo albums. Stay tuned for some more coming your way. Hope you enjoyed them. Hope you liked them today. Comment, share, like, and comment on there and tell me your favorites, guys. I really want to know.